Cocoa House, opened in 1960 by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, President of the Republic of Ghana, was built to reflect the board's faith in the future of cocoa industry and also to serve as a living monument to the hard work of the Ghanaian cocoa farmer. The building, after years of neglect and deterioration, has been given back its glorious image befitting the industry it represents. On Thursday, 21st August 2008, the Board of Directors, Senior Management and Staff of Cocoa Board, led by the Chief Executive and his 3 Deputy Chief Executives, were proud to once again invite the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency J. Ekufuor, to be the special guest to unveil the plaque to mark the commission of the refurbished Cocoa House. The well-attended event was also graced with the presence of senior ministers of state, traditional chiefs, cocoa farmers and their representatives, managers of businesses that operate in the cocoa industry and the general public. After the arrival of President Kufuor at the ceremony, the national anthem was played to signify the official start of the day's event. Prayers were said after the national anthem, then followed with the introduction of the chairman of the occasion by the MCs, Mr. John Clotisefa of the Legal Department Cocoa Board and Mrs. Ajwa Afriye Ajote of the Accounts Department Cocoa Board. In his remark, the chairman in the person of Dasibri Kwame Boateng II, Kweuman Hene and chairman of Board of Directors Cocoa Board had this to say.
I feel highly honored to be chosen to chair today's function to commission the refurbished Cocoa House. Your Excellency, the foundation stone of this building was laid by the late Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first President of the Republic of Ghana, on 1st October 1957. It took 3 years to complete, and the commissioning and unveiling of plaque was done on the 19th of November 1960. This imposing edifice has served the purpose for which it was built. Cocoa, as we all know, is the backbone of Ghana's economy and a major foreign exchange earner. Your Excellency, this building has for over 40 years not seen any significant rehabilitation until 2001 when the NPP assumed power. Indeed, in the state of disrepair, an amount of 6,283,52.97, that is Ghana cedis, had to be spent to bring it to this stage. It took a lot of courage to undertake a task of this magnitude. This achievement has been possible due to the increased cocoa production since 2001 under your able leadership as follows. 2001 to 2002, we had 340,562 metric tons. 2002-2003, 496,846 metric tons. 2003-2004, 736,975 metric tons. 2004-2005, 599,318 metric tons. 2005-2006, 740,458 metric tons. 2006-2007, 614,532 metric tons. And 2007-2008, that is up to the live crop, we have 663,954 metric tons. The commodity has also attracted good prices in the world market, and the prospects are bright. With the greatest humility and appreciation, I accept to chair this function and hope with the cooperation of all herein gathered, I trust that this ceremony will come off successfully. Thank you very much.
I'm very pleased to welcome you to the official commissioning of the refurbished Cocoa House.
In his welcome address, Mr. Isaac Osei, CEO of Cocoa Board, started by saying,
even though the basic structure has not been significantly altered, Cocoa House, as we knew it only a few years ago, is certainly not the same building that today some of us have the privilege to work in.
In his speech, Mr. Osei took time to give a brief background to the refurbished building. He stated that the board started work in the rented premises belonging to the Export Produce Control Board on the 28th February Road, Accra in 1947. It moved later to Swan Mill in a property owned by the United African Company Limited UAC. The Cocoa Marketing Board rented part of it at an annual cost of approximately £4,500. Mr. Osei said in 1957, the late Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Prime Minister of Ghana, laid the foundation stone to mark the beginning of the construction of Cocoa House on Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, Accra, to provide offices for the board. According to Mr. Osei, the building of Cocoa House was not only meant to avoid payment of rent, but also to be a concrete expression of the board's faith in the future of the cocoa industry and as a monument to the hard-working Ghanaian cocoa farmer. Mr. Osei stated that the 6-story Cocoa House, which was built at a cost of nearly 1 million Gold Coast pounds, was commissioned in November 1960 by President Nkrumah and has over the years provided offices for foreign and local organizations such as Ethiopian Airlines, Air Afrique, Air Ivoire, Air Togo, Ghana Airways, Ghana Supply Commission, ARB Apex Bank and other private companies. Mr. Osei said the commissioning ceremony was a result of the decision taken in the year 2001 by the Board of Directors and Management of the Ghana Cocoa Board to completely refurbish Cocoa Board's head office building, which had fallen into a very poor state of repair, into a structure that will meet today's challenges of good corporate governance and provide a conducive working environment.
Within this refurbished edifice is a state-of-the-art gymnasium and fitness center set up to promote the health and strength of our staff. And on this occasion, it is only appropriate that I commend our board chairman, Dasibre Ekwuamwa Boateng II, Okwawumahine, under whose quiet and able leadership, the board approved the bold initiative of my immediate predecessor, Mr. Kwame Sapon, to undertake this refurbishment.
In his speech, he further mentioned that the refurbishment of the building was supervised by 2 reputable local consultants and the work were carried out by 14 Ghanaian contractors, subcontractors and suppliers, with the first phase of the project being completed in March 2005 and the second phase at the early part of 2008. The total cost expended in this important exercise, according to Mr. Osei, amounted to 6.5 million Ghana cedi, which was financed from internally generated funds. Mr. Osei, in his speech, also stated that the premises now had a modern look with network computer and telephone systems, CCTVs to enhance security, and hoped that those entrusted with the maintenance of this magnificent property will ensure that it will look squeaky clean year in, year out. Commenting on the board's reason for refurbishing the property, Mr. Osei said,
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to say that Cocoa House has been turned once again into one of the very beautiful and imposing structures in the capital city of Accra. Your Excellency, permit me to say that what we have tried to do here is not dissimilar to your very commendable efforts to restore to glory and improve national monuments and structures such as the Castle, Osu, the Pediatric Lodge, Job 600, Flagstaff House, and the stadia in Accra and Kumasi. Give it up for the President. Many Ghanaians often ask why we are prepared to put good resources into building mighty edifices and other public buildings, and yet we refuse to take care of them. We refuse to maintain them. Let me entreat the staff of the board to treat this facility, which our own president is commissioning today, differently. And I'm pleased to say that the General Services Department has complied with management's directive to provide a routine and periodic maintenance plan for implementation. Nana Chairman, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, nation building is not only about the new things we put in place, but it is also about how we protect, care, and take pride in what we already have. Mr. President, no leader of our country in recent times exemplifies this truism more than you.
Mr. Osei highlighted some of the key strategies and action plans that had been designed and implemented from the premises, including the implementation, monitoring and evaluation of the composite high-tech program, which will lead to the attainment of the 1 million tons target. He also took the opportunity to assure all present at the ceremony that Cocoa Board was fully committed to ensuring that the industry's objective of achieving 1 million tons production in the medium term was attained, and called on all to ensure that through their core values of achieving excellence, this will be met in the next few years. Mr. Osei further assured the President that his directive to the board to move to ensure increased value addition to Ghana's cocoa had been taken on board, and by the end of 2008, Ghana will have a domestic processing capacity of 350,000 tons, which exceeds the 40% target given the Ghana's present production levels. The CEO, in concluding, again welcomed all the visitors to Cocoa Board head office, especially His Excellency the President, adding that Cocoa Board was proud of the President for his support of the cocoa industry that had led to production gains unprecedented in the history of the industry.
Your Excellency the President, we are proud of you because your support for the cocoa industry has led to production gains unprecedented in the history of our industry in our country. We are proud of His Excellency the President because of the high pedestal to which he has raised the image of the cocoa farmer in Ghana. We are proud of you, Your Excellency, because not only have you restored dignity to the high office of President, but your general performance as head of state has been exemplary and worthy of emulation by succeeding generations of leaders. Indeed, I have no doubt in my mind that while you retire to a well-deserved rest at the end of your tenure as president, when the history of cocoa and that of our country are chronicled, you will be numbered in the pantheon of great men of our times. So I welcome all of you to this commissioning ceremony, and I welcome you especially, Mr. President, and hope and pray that you will enjoy this day with your people. I thank you for your kind attention.
I am singularly honored to have this opportunity to be present at this official commissioning of this refurbished cocoa house.
Mr. Sona Ibai, Secretary General for Cocoa Producers Alliance COPAL, brought greetings from COPAL.
Ghana is a founding member of the Cocoa Producers Alliance. Ghana is a champion of international coordination on cocoa matters. Ghana is the yardstick of quality in the international cocoa market. In today's economy of limited resources, where developmental projects have to be prioritized, it is very reassuring to see that the government of Ghana has spared no efforts to cater for the two main tenets of quality and of total quality that the market requires, and that is continuous education and training of manpower and investment in infrastructure. So I am not the least surprised that we can today in Accra have such a magnificent edifice which speaks eloquently for the Ghana cocoa sector. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for this gift.
Nana Chairman, Board of Directors.
Mr. Kojoban Redu, Minister for Finance and Economic Planning, also addressed the present.
It's with great pleasure that we have all gathered here today to commemorate the formal commissioning of the rehabilitated cocoa house. We all agree with me that cocoa house symbolizes the foundation of the cocoa industry and therefore merits the investment sunk into it to give it a facelift. The completion of the rehabilitation of this structure, which comes with the state-of-the-art equipment, also symbolizes government's resolve at ensuring that the infrastructure base of the country's economy is expanded and improved upon.
On the importance of cocoa, Mr. Banredu stated that the NPP government, realizing the importance of agriculture in alleviating poverty in Ghana, identified cocoa as a priority subsector. He said, cocoa, which is referred to as the tree of life and also described as the food of the gods, occupies a center stage in Ghana's economy and will continue to be important. The Honorable Minister stated that the cocoa industry has seen a lot of development under the NPP administration, which had led to the general improvement in the living conditions of cocoa farmers, and emphasized the government's commitment to ensure that all the needed assistance is given to the cocoa sector. As a result, he said the government had come up with various policy initiatives which undeniably have led to tremendous successes. On the policy measures, Mr. Banredu said,
Nana Chair, Your Excellency the President, the impressive performance being witnessed in the cocoa industry has resulted from the major policy initiatives pursued by the current government over the period, among which are the following: increased producer prices and payment of bonuses, effective disease and pest control exercise.
He said, however, that in spite of these achievements, there were daunting challenges which require the concerted effort of all stakeholders to resolve. Mr. Banredu stated that to achieve the 1 million tons of cocoa production target, more hard work needs to be put in, and invited all players in the cocoa industry to partner with the government towards achieving these laudable goals that will place Ghana's cocoa industry on a higher pedestal. The minister took the opportunity to thank the able cocoa farmers for their hard work and dedication and encourage them to continue their good work. He also noted that since 2001, producer prices have increased nearly fourfold. This, he said, has ensured that farmers are paid decent and remunerative prices, with farmers currently enjoying over 70% of the net FOB prices. In concluding, Mr. Banredu congratulated the board, management and workers of Ghana Cocoa Board on the opening and assured them that the government will continue to work hand in hand with them to ensure the country reaps the maximum benefit from the golden pod.
On 19th November 1960,
in his address, the special guest of honor, His Excellency John Agyekunkwufor, President of the Republic of Ghana, started by saying,
commissioned the head office of the Ghana Cocoa Board And at the time, it was called Cocoa Marketing Board, CMB for short. With 6 floors, lifts, and rooftop staff canteen, it was not only one of the tallest, but also one of the most modern and elegant buildings in the city of Accra. Sadly, like many of its kind, this national monument received very little maintenance over time, thereby losing its shine. This government, in its resolve to rehabilitate our nation, decided to refurbish Cocoa House to restore it to its former glory. It is to commission this refurbished facility that we are here this morning. That cocoa remains the mainstay of the Ghanaian economy is not in doubt. Nana Chief Farmer, please let all cocoa farmers know that the nation remains grateful to them.
President Kufuor went further to state that Ghana's economy is dependent to a high degree on primary production in agriculture, mining and export. He said the export of cocoa, gold and timber traditionally accounts for the greatest bulk of merchandise export, with cocoa subsector alone contributing 16.4% of the aggregate agricultural growth in 2003 and 12.2% in 2006, making it the highest contributor to the agricultural growth. In terms of foreign exchange earnings, President Kufuor said the cocoa subsector contributed an average of 28.9% of the total export earnings from 2000 to 2005. On increasing cocoa efficiency, His Excellency had this to say.
Other policies and programs for growth include mass spraying, which has been reintroduced since 2001. This program employs over 50,000 workers per annum and has led to a tremendous reduction in crop losses since its introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that not all of you know about the Cocoa High-Tech program, which is the novelty that is doing wonders in the sector. I must therefore inform you that it involves application of fertilizers, insecticides, and fungicides, besides use of improved planting materials. Since its introduction in 2003, productivity of most cocoa farms has gone up. Indeed, this is mainly the secret behind the phenomenal production levels of recent years.
His Excellency also stated that the government's policy to pay an increasing share of the FOB price to the farmer and ensure that cocoa farmers receive reasonable incomes to cover their cost of production and make some profit has been consistently pursued and successfully carried out. President Kufuor announced that the farmers' share of the FOB price has consistently increased from 46% in 2000 and 2001 crop year to about 72% in the current crop year. He said government, in collaboration with Cocoa Board, has targeted a minimum of 40% of annual cocoa output to be processed locally in the medium term. In line with this objective, the President said the government, with the support of Cocoa Board, pursued a number of policies in a bid to attract investors to invest in cocoa processing. The President went further to state that Cocoa Board, through the scholarship scheme instituted for the wards of farmers, has over the years contributed significantly to the human resource development of the country. He said Cocoa Board has increased its contribution from 15 billion cedis to 20 billion Ghana cedis in order to sustain the scheme.
It is also worth noting that for the crop year 2006-2007, Cocoa Board has paid bonuses twice to farmers. This amount involved 32 million Ghana cedis. This is the third time that bonuses have been paid twice in a year. And I believe this practice will continue.
On the issue of child labor, the president said the government, through the Ministry of Manpower, Youth and Employment, in collaboration with Cocoa Board, will continue to support ongoing projects aimed at eliminating the menace wherever it exists in the cocoa growing areas of Ghana. His Excellency, in concluding, said,
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to conclude by urging management and staff of Cocoa Board to endeavor to develop the culture of maintenance to keep the refurbished facility in the best of conditions at all times. I now have the pleasure to declare the refurbished Cocoa House commissioned. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
All too soon, the ceremony is coming to an end.
In his closing remarks, the chairman for the ceremony, Dasibre Ekwuamabuatin II, gave a brief highlight of the occasion. He stated that the various speeches stressed the importance of cocoa in Ghana's economy and the invaluable impacts that cocoa has made on their lives. Dasibre also said that glowing tribute had been paid to illustrious farmers who had embraced the innovation in the cocoa industry to bring cocoa production to the current enviable position. He further noted Cocoa Board and the government assured commitment to these illustrious farmers to ensure sustained growth in areas such as payment of attractive producer prices, biannual bonus payment, pursuit of pest and disease control programs, and cocoa high-tech practices. After the chairman's speech, he made a presentation to the special guest of honor, President J. Kufuor.
We are so grateful, and on behalf of the board of directors and the entire staff and management of Cocoa Board, I make this presentation to you. Your Excellency, we are so
for sparing time to be with us. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Mrs. Sarah Aklibosu, senior stenographer at Cocoa Board, gave the vote of thanks, after which prayers were said. After the opening ceremony, the special guest of honor, President Kufuor, was invited to cut the tape and unveil a plaque to mark the official commissioning of the refurbished Cocoa House building. Greeted by well wishes and supporters, the president made his way to cut the tape. After the cutting of the tape, Mr. Isaac Osei invited President Kufuor to tour the refurbished premises with him. Whilst touring the facility, the President visited the trading rooms of Ghana Cocoa Marketing Company Limited. His Excellency was invited to try his hand in selling Ghana's cocoa on the international commodities market.